Meanwhile, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is calling for a reform of the corporate tax system. She wants businesses' support. She claims raising the corporate tax from 21 to 28% would help pay for President Biden's massive spending plans and his other goals in terms of spending. Joining me right now is Americans for Tax Reform President Grover Norquist. Grover, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being here. Look, it looks like taxes are going higher. I know that President Biden wants to get his whole ball of wax through reconciliation, but so far he is unable to do that because Democrats are pushing back on that. So we probably won't see the whole plan pass, the spending and the tax increases that Biden wants, but we'll likely see some taxes go higher. What do you think about this corporate rate expected to go all the way back up to 28%, Grover? Give us the impact from your standpoint.
Well, that 28% is the federal corporate income tax. Add on the average in the 50 states of a 6% state and local tax. So add 6 to the 28, you're way over 30%, and that is completely uncompetitive with communist China, which is at 25%. We'd be over 30, and uncompetitive with the European average of 32.5. For Yellen to stand in front of a business group and say raising the corporate rate in the United States significantly higher than in China or in Europe will make us competitive is sad. I mean, even the head of the Chamber of Commerce, who bent over backward endorsing the Democrats who are now attacking the American business community and small businesses, she had to say that that was nonsense after Yellen spoke. So add to that, she wants to double the capital gains tax, bringing it back to almost Jimmy Carter levels, which the Democrats cut from 49 down to 28% back in 1978. So this raising the corporate rate, doubling the capital gains tax, our capital gains tax would be twice what China's is. How in the world that makes the United States competitive is a bizarre comment from the Treasury Secretary.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect the European nations to actually get market share if, in fact, we were to see a 30-plus corporate rate and a 40-plus capital gains rate. I think it is an opportunity for European economies to take market share with American companies moving their headquarters over there, right? I mean, I don't think that would happen with China, but I understand the comparison.
Yeah, well, Europe's is even lower than China's, and so we'd be even less competitive with Europe. But for a president who says he wants to challenge China on economics, he's going in exactly the wrong direction with the higher capital gains and the higher corporate income tax. And of his corporate income tax, it would hit 1 million smaller businesses that are subchapters, that are C corporations. 1 million C corporations would be hit, small ones would be hit by Biden's higher income tax. He said in front of cameras he would never raise taxes on small businesses. This is a direct blow, not just against larger companies that compete internationally, but smaller companies here in the States.
Well, this is a good point that you're making. So expand on that, because Biden also wants to raise individual taxes, and the highest earners would go back up to 39.6%. That also hits small business, correct?
Yes, there are two ways that Biden is planning to his war on small businesses. Now, set aside getting rid of right to work, changing labor law, all of the various regulations, raising the price of energy, that war on small business. But on taxes, he's going to increase dramatically the tax, not only of smaller companies that are pass-throughs, where the owners pay their taxes through their personal income taxes. Those rates are going up. And those that have a C corporation, their rates are going up. So all businesses are getting whacked here. Very, very damaging to companies that want to grow.
And what's your thoughts on the impact this will have on the economy in the next couple of years? I mean, let's say he announces these tax increases by year end and says that they're retroactive for 2021. How does that change things for the economic story?
Well, just reverse engineer what the Republican tax cut did. The Republican tax cut in 2019 alone raised the median income for median family of 4 by 6.8% was the growth in their pay. 6.8%. It was a $4,400 pay increase, sustainable, continuing each year, because the corporate income tax goes right into higher productivity because more investment, and into higher wages because more productivity. So you saw those gains in family income, household income, and that will begin to recede.
Yeah, I mean, that's why this is all playing out in models about the economic growth story for Wall Street models who are actually lowering earnings estimates as a result of these expectations. Let me ask you about hitting the snooze on woke companies, a nonprofit releasing an ad campaign calling out companies Nike, American Airlines, Coca-Cola for pushing what they call the woke political narratives on the American public. We know what happened just recently with the Georgia voting laws, and all of these companies reacted without even reading the bill because, of course, it was not a bad voting law at all in Georgia. Your thoughts on this new ad campaign? Is this going to have an impact?
Well, I think they want business leaders to create jobs, and good jobs that raise pay and keep energy costs down. To have business leaders playing to the peanut gallery of the left, one, they're not focused on their job. They were silent when all of these tax increases on their shareholders were being discussed by Biden. Now they're screaming like stuck pigs about the attack on corporate earnings. Look, a corporate income tax increase reduces corporate earnings. All tax increases are pay cuts. All tax increases on businesses are cuts in earnings. And it damages the value of every company in the country. The American business community should be focused on that instead of playing games.
Yep. All right, Grover, great to talk with you this morning. Thanks so much. So much to wade through. We appreciate your time this morning. Grover Norquist joining us here.